class, Critical Perspectives in Transgender Law. So one of the first things Dean told us was to remember the title. It's Critical Perspectives in Transgender Law. And that's the moment when I could tell that Dean was a true champion for justice in the classroom. Now, the critical perspective is a difficult one for someone like me. I'm white, able-bodied, in good health, and the state and the federal government recognize my marriage. Most of the time, the world is a pretty comfortable place for me. But I came to law school because I believed in the power of the legal system to produce change. I still believe that. But Dean has taught me to look at the legal system through the critical lens. Before Dean's class, I wouldn't have thought to question the conditions which produce a grant system which awards money to short-term, demonstrable returns that please funders rather than long-term investment in building sustainable communities. But Dean had us read the hard, theoretical, jargon-laden books and papers. He had us read Michel Foucault, Angela Harris, Dylan Rodriguez, and of course Dean Spade. And believe me, my husband was sick of hearing me explain for the 100th time what biopolitics was. But let me tell you, it's helped me. Dean showed us examples from his own life, some of what he called the biggest failures of his career. Now, how many professors would be brave enough to say something like that and use that as a teaching tool? There were moments when we were completely depressed in class. But then Dean gave us hope. Let me read to you an article that Professor Spade wrote with Ricky Manansala about the work of the Sylvia Rivera Law Project. Now, this is an organization in New York that serves transgender people, and Dean founded it. And so here's the quote that I'm going to read. Central to SRLP's mission, the Sylvia Rivera Law Project, are the organization's ongoing efforts to resist relying solely on short-term strategies of social change, and to recognize the limits of legal reform while balancing the necessity for law and policy changes that can help trans, intersex, and gender nonconforming people survive. SRLP recognizes that this process must continually unfold, that its work will be imperfect, that its members will have blind spots, and that each area of its program, like all aspects of anti-oppression, is not about arriving, but instead about engaging in a process with integrity, reflection, and openness to change. We need to be both visionary and rigorous, willing to hear critiques and engage an ongoing, ever-unfolding process of movement development that refuses to compromise portions of our vision or sectors of our community in exchange for a reduced vision of freedom. These are high demands, but if we did not think they were possible, none of this work would be worth trying. Please join me in honoring Professor Dean Spade for the Award of Justice in the Classroom.
It's really pretty, too. I won't take all the time. I just want to say that, it's always